Hi, welcome to Craft Little Things. I'm Andrea and today I'm going to show you an easier version of this lovely box. Now it's an illusion, this box, really, because you think that it's got a band around the centre, but it hasn't. It's actually, the box is made of two quite deep pieces. But it gives you a lovely round box that holds lots of stuff. But this was sort of a prototype. It's, oops, got the pin upside down. It's 4 and nearly 3/4 inches deep, and it's just over 3 inches in diameter. So it's quite a big box, but this was, and I've used this gorgeous ruffled ribbon for it. Excuse my state of my nails at the minute, I'm going to have them done later. I've used the Pretty Label punch for the sentiment, and I've used this lovely Share What You Love, or Share What You, whatever it's called, garden DSP, and to make this big box. Now, I thought it was a bit of a faff, this one, and it didn't come out, because this cardstock is so thick, it kind of overlapped and it just didn't look right. So I thought, I'm sure I can make this a bit easier, even though it is gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. I thought I can make this easier, and it's such a great sturdy box as well. And it's just so unusual. It's like a little bag, and it's just so cute. So what I thought was I'd try and make an easier version. I'm saying I can make an easier version. Haven't actually tried to make one. I'm just making this up as I go along, as usual. But we'll see what happens. I've got all the bits here that you're going to need, I think. What I've done is I've started off with a 3 by 9 3/4 inch piece of DSP. I'm not going to make a cardstock sort of base to wrap the card around. This is just such good quality that it's cardstock, really, right? It's more like printed cardstock than DSP. So there's 3 pieces here, if you look at them, which each measure 9 3/4 inches. Or maybe this one doesn't. This is 9.5 inches by 1 inch, so that's 24.1 centimetres by 2.5 centimetres. This one is 9 3/4 by 4, so this is 24.8 by 10.2, and this is the same by 3, so this is 24.8 by 7.6 centimetres. Okay, and this is from the same stack as the box I just showed you. Then I'm going to have 2 Old Olive, this is Old Olive that I'm using here, 2 Old Olive stitched shape framelets, which use the biggest stitch shape framelet, and 2 of the DSP. And then I've just printed out a Whisper White and a circle, which is 1 1/4 inch punch I used for that, so that's 3.2 centimetre punch, and the Pretty Label punch that I punched out the DSP. Okay, so I'm going to pop sentiment on there and stick it on. I'm going to use the lovely Coastal Cabana ribbon from the Tea Room, this one, from the Tea Room suite, because it's just gorgeous. So I'm going to use that. Okay, so we need to do some scoring. Now this is the bottom of our box. So on this one we need to score at 3.5. Okay, and that's the bottom of the main box. And then we need to score at 1/2 inch, and that's just our overlap to wrap it around. And then what we need to do is just score at every 1/2 inch, and it doesn't matter, you don't have to be really super efficient with your scoring in terms of depth, because every 1/2 inch we're just going to cut up those marks. Now with a 3 inch piece we're going to do the same thing. We're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then we're going to score at 1/2 inch again, and then we're going to score, it's alright, every 1/2 inch. My sister's just come in, the dogs have gone insane. I thought it was too good to be true that they'd been quiet. And then this one doesn't need scoring anywhere. Right? And even these end scores just need to be quite light. Sorry, I've done mine quite rigid, but they don't need to be very rigid, they just need to be light. And don't burnish them. Okay? But you do need to burnish this bottom one. So fold that up. It's funny how your opinions change. I didn't like this paper when I first saw it, and I love it now. And I loved that paper, and I can't stand it now. So, just shows you how things change. So, with this side panel, where we'd normally sort of notch something like this in, I'm not going to, but I am just going to cut away that little square there. So that's where we've just scored the 1/2 inch down the side, and then just cut up, I can't really see them on that side, cut up each of the 1/2 inch score lines. And then you can just cut them in as well, you can notch them in. I do find that notching them in is really worth doing. So on the other piece, I'm going to do this all at once off camera, especially because my sister's here, I can have a quick chat to her while I do it. So again, just cut that end square off where you've got your score line at 1/2 inch. And then just cut up all your other score lines and notch them all in. Okay. I mean, you can notch them in a lot if you want. You can notch them in so that they're triangles. So there's no, you know, as little or as much or not at all if you want. So if we do that on both pieces, and then we'll come back, because that's more or less all that needs doing, and then it just assembles. Okay. Hi, well, I'm back. Sorry about that. It's taken some time. I've been sat out in the garden all day, so this is a lot later. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop some glue on these end flaps. And I'm just going to roll it around, line up the score line there with the end of the other side, and just press it down and give it a nice good pressing so that you're, whoops, so that you're getting that glue. Make sure it's nice and straight and evenly lined up, but give it a really good press and make sure you're getting that glue right up to the end. That's a good thing about glue, you can press and make sure it goes to the edges, so you get a really nice tight bond there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these and we're going to pop it on the inside, and we're going to push it up to that, oh, it should fit perfectly. I'm going to push that up to that score line that you've cut all these edge pieces to. Okay, and then to make sure there's no glue on it yet or anything, but this will just get it into the right place. Okay, and then what I'll do is I get one of these DSP pieces and cover that in glue. So that I can then pop it over the top there, cover all of those tabs, And I just find this the easiest way, and then give it a really good press down from the other side. And I just find that the easiest way of... Sorry, just one moment. Hello?
Hiya. Trying to get me an early birthday present.
Can you just buy it and I'll give you it back when you get home? Because I'm in the middle of finishing off a video I started at 11 o'clock this morning.
Okay then, bye dog.
Right, bye, love you.
Me too.
So that's the top, the box. It's not quite, could do with being pulled around just a little bit more, but never mind. And then we're going to do the same with the lid. Now with the lid, I'm going to leave it just short. Hang on a minute. Sorry, that's the lid, and this is the box. So with the box, I'm just gonna right. So this is the lid. Okay. Sorry, I thought this was the box. This is the lid. This one's the box. So we're going to do exactly the same. The glue down there, but this time I'm just going to pull it around. You know, on the last one, on the lid we lined it just up with the score line. With this one, I'm just going to pull it a tiny, sort of 1/8 of an inch further round than the score line. Okay? Because I just want it to be a little bit smaller. Because I want the lid to fit on. So, let's just see if the lid fits. And there we go, the lid does fit perfectly. Okay? So then we just do exactly the same thing. I get my old olive disc and I pop it in the bottom, and not only does this help with shaping and gluing it all together, but it also makes it look nice from the inside. So you have a nice little contrasting disc inside. And as I said, if you get all your little tabs, see, they just automatically go down anyway, and just get that fitted in nicely in there. And then we're just going to put glue all over this, and it just makes it so easy to do. Far easier than if I showed you how I made the other one. It's just such a faff, and this one is so much easier. And that was one that I copied from someone else. As sort of a design that I cased from somebody, not the DSP, but the design of the how to do the circular box, the cylinder box. Not in these dimensions either, it was in different dimensions. And now what we want to do is you can either have it like that, so it's smaller than this one, considerably smaller, and you can just put your band around like that, or you can put your band, say there, on your box, and then that lid will stop when it hits that band. Okay, so it's entirely up to you where you put this band. Now, you don't have to put the band on at all if you don't want, or you can put the band onto the lid and have a smaller box. It is entirely up to you. So let me just put your glue right up to the edges, get it really nice and tight onto, because you really want it to hold on to your project really well, and it's quite hard to glue it on. You might want to glue it on before you assemble to get it really straight. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start mine just over there, that join, and I'm going to bring it round so that my join lines up. Okay, and I'm just going to pop it on with finger power at first. Make sure I've got a bit of wriggle room just to get it straight. And then I'm going to go around. I'm going to start with the back. And I'm going to press it down all around. Particularly make sure and put it up and down. Particularly make sure that it's nicely stuck down around that join there. And then my lid now is going to go on, but it's going to go on and stop itself. It's going to stop there, okay? So you can make it as tall or as short as you like. If you put that further down, then your lid will stop further down. Okay, and it makes it look like it's got a lip inside, but it hasn't got a lip inside. It's got a band around the outside. Okay, now one thing I've forgotten to do, and that was tie my ribbon into the lid. And what I'd normally do is I'd put it under this piece here, glue it on, tape it on, then glue it and then trap it in there. But because I've forgotten to do that, I'm going to show you a different way to do it. And for the different way, you need some kind of, I'm going to use a 1/8 of an inch punch, but you need some kind of punch that's going to reach quite deep into a box. That's the middle, so, and then we want the opposing side. So, I mean, obviously you'd do this precisely and you'd measure this, but I'm just doing it to be quick. And then what you do is you'd either just pop it in and glue it on the inside. You could tie it at the edges like this, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a little bow on the side. Oh, stuck to my finger there. I'm just going to put a couple of little bows at the side. And so there we have it. This one's tied at the sides and it slots down to there. And then we're just going to put the sentiment on here. This time I'm going to glue the sentiment on. I'm not putting it on with dimensionals. And that says happy birthday. And isn't that cute? Look at it. So that's those. I hope you enjoyed seeing how they're done, and I hope you try to make them for yourself. And it'd be lovely to see what you come up with, especially if you share on Instagram, #CraftLittleThingsUK, and then I can see what projects you've done. Okay, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.